you're not, I'll do that.
All right. No, I talked to him this morning, so.
Was he? He tends to do that for some reason. I don't know why.
Apparently his Jeep don't come in reverse. You can take it back to the factory.
Barry, just one signature
I
on
just
this
got
consent.
this up.
You're good to go, Cindy.
Well, I got one more little piece.
Why don't we have everybody sign it? I mean, there's no room to sign it back or something.
Okay.
No.
Well, there's that terms section right down there below mine.
I would have a real.
Okay. Anybody heard from Mike?
You know what?
We already have it going live, so just Jeremy trying to help us make sure we've got what we need, so.
Yeah, thanks for your help.
Oh, it's a pleasure, happy to help.
It definitely was. He met me at 5:15 and he deleted a couple of things that he thinks were part of what was causing the problem. Then, so.
So the guy you want to talk to hasn't shown up yet.
Okay, thank you.
Just my luck.
Just
One person,
Hey, you got 80%.
yeah.
Did you pick up your mail last night? Okay. All right.
Better sign on this thing.
Okay.
This
Okay.
would be going great.
Medicaid calls me 40 times a day.
And I added him to the GPS today.
Okay.
Fine.
So he should have that the next
All
time
right.
it comes in. And totally gonna add Axon to go ahead and move forward, because we had kind of told him to hold off, so. Okay.
Well, that's okay.
Great. All right, if everybody could stand, we'll call the meeting to order and do the pledge. I expect it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have them sitting here. Thanks for speaking. Okay, any resident wishing to address the town council needs to come up to the podium, address the chair. We'll actually have you do that from out there, and then get recognition from the presiding officer. Anyone who is recognized by the presiding officer may speak. However, there's no guarantee that you'll be recognized. Non-residents who have an interest or information to share on a specific issue can also speak with consent of the town council. No person shall speak twice on the same issue except by majority consent of the council. However, any resident who has not spoken on the issue may ask for the floor, and he or she shall be the first to proceed. Debate shall be limited to 2 minutes for each speaker. Total time for debate on any question shall not exceed 10 minutes. No extension of time shall be allowed a speaker to debate a question except by unanimous consent of the council. Once a matter has been the subject of a public hearing, residents will not be allowed to address the council on the matter at a subsequent council meeting. Residents may get contact information for each council member at the town hall. As a matter of courtesy to those around you, cell phones must be placed on vibrate or silent. If a call must be answered, the call must be taken outside of the meeting room. Sidebars or other distracting behavior will not be permitted. Any individual participating in distracting behavior will be asked to leave the meeting room so as not to disturb others. The open mic time is 10 minutes. Roll call.
Cindy, these gentlemen, are they going to be speakers?
I'm just gonna have them, I just told them, we'd have them just ask.
No, sorry.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, because I was gonna have them talk to Mike before the meeting, but since he didn't get here, we'll let him ask Tony.
You better sign it.
Okay. That one?
Yeah, one of.
Mike,
You want
he
to-
has the sign-in.
I understand.
Thank you for showing.
Yes.
So you guys are from the Legion,
Yes, sir.
you're good to go.
The permits?
So we have to sign in.
There's your
Yeah.
speech.
Sweet, that was,
We just wanted to make sure.
I talked to two others.
Okay.
and They said you guys are good to go, we'll get that approved for you.
Okay.
At the next meeting, so
Okay.
you're good to go,
We appreciate it.
okay?
thank you very much.
We'll get started on that if that works.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Council President Cindy Ledoux.
Here.
Council Vice President Todd Fry.
Present.
Councilperson Sam Levine.
Here.
Councilperson Sunny Sailor Gordon.
Here.
Councilperson Michael Dice.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay, we need a motion to approve the minutes for May 11th.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from May 11th.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, approve the financial statement, obviously for the month of May.
I did not get a chance to look at those. I was called away on private business. So I won't sign. Yeah, I will understand.
I make a motion to approve the financial statement for the month of May.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, then approving the invoices for the month of May.
I make a motion to approve the invoices for the month of May. I'll second the motion.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? Barry, thank you for your answers today. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Approve the bank statements.
Make a motion to approve bank statements for the month of May. I second the motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And then finally, approving the payroll warrant reports and warrants.
I make a motion to approve the payroll reports, warrants for the month of May.
I'll second the motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, then.
Cindy, one thing. Have you abstained on everything?
All of it, yeah. I did not look at them, I could not approve them.
Okay. And Barry, then on that first one, I know you were still out there. Todd made the motion, Sam seconded. I don't know if you got that for the previous minutes.
For the minutes, yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, questions, concerns, or remarks from the audience? Just for those of you sitting here, if you did not meet him, Jeremy Stevens is the gentleman in red because we've had some issues with the live feed with our last one. We think that was actually just a YouTube glitch that night, talking to some other people. But then with the safety board, so he came out tonight and met me. We kind of done a little perks. So nobody thinks that there's a conspiracy. I didn't want to sit by one of them or something. We know that Sam is the softer spoken, so we tried to put him closer to a microphone and trying to make that a little bit better as well. And then our safety board, we just have to get to speak up because they are about the softest spoken people that we've ever encountered. So, okay. Nothing else from the audience? Okay. Then John.
In addition to the daily test of the wastewater treatment, the water treatment work orders locates the following was also done. Turn-offs was on the 5th, meters was read on the 7th, water samples was taken on the 4th. We worked with the sewage plant the 4th, the 7th, the 11th, 14th, 20th, and 26th. Picked up yard waste the 12th through the 14th, 19th through the 21st, 27th and 28th.
Any questions for Joan? Okay. Joe couldn't be here this evening, and you said really no specific report or anything?
Everything to report out on, and just basically waiting for the results to come in.
Okay. Sunny, you're reporting for Parks and Recreation.
So you probably noticed there's no air conditioning here. I noticed it Friday night. I called Benchmark out here Saturday. He's gonna try a couple of more parts to see if he can get it to work. I'm anticipating new air conditioners. The thought process is we milked the furnace. We were able to repair the furnace last year, anticipating worst case scenario and having to replace both furnaces and both air conditioners. I don't really know how much, perhaps up to $30,000. We don't have any bids yet. Yeah, that's bad news. We also are going to have a quote probably this week to do the best we can to fix the parking lot out there as well, which has gone a couple of years past the resurface. And we have the parade, should I go ahead? I don't have a flyer with me, so we're going to
There's
have
a flyer over there.
a
Behind you.
little American 250 parade in Galveston. Going to start at the school?
Church. We changed to the church because daycare is dismissing at that time.
Friday, June 19th at 6 p.m. Starting at the church, we will end up back here at the community center where hot dogs will be available. And we would love to collect donations to get to our goal for our Creating Spaces grant. The deadline for that is June 24th. There's the coloring pages, if any of your little kids want to color those for the contest as well.
Which church?
United in Faith Methodist Church.
No Methodist.
Sorry. It was right there in front of me and I did not read it.
That's going to be an automatic. I tell everybody that other name all the time without the first part. So, okay. Do you guys, are you going to have to ask council for approval on air conditioners, or do you guys have the funds?
We probably do not have the funds.
Okay. So we might need
So I'm
to discuss this,
anticipating.
bring that up back down here, and
Yeah.
because you're going to need some go-ahead, even if you don't have bids, like an up to amount or something with the lowest bid.
What are we doing about the rental of it with people coming in and being like 100 degrees in here? Well, I warned the one I could this weekend. He's going to be here. He wasn't here today. Hopefully tomorrow. I do not know.
Because I'd be kind of.
I would too.
If I came in and it was this hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's in.
Depending what they charge, so
As soon as you come in.
I think it's
So we may
something
have, we may have to make some adjustments.
it needs to be
that.
done as soon as possible to get there.
Yeah, well, when I talked to him Saturday, I said, put me on your schedule ASAP. And like he said, there's a couple more things he wants to try, a couple more parts. But he told me to sit down when he called me back. So, yeah, we might have to make some adjustments in the rentals. Matter of fact, I need to go and get the phone numbers.
Yeah.
So, but going to get hotter. So.
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be here tomorrow and I'll have more information on that. Yeah, it got really hot in here on Friday.
Yeah.
That's the parking lot and the
air's working.
furnace or the air conditioning.
I'm sorry?
We'll need a council-approved purchase order, approve which quote that you're going to take, okay? And then the invoice.
So Barry, on that, can we, like the parking lot can wait?
Yeah,
for another
I was
meeting?
just putting that out there.
Or can we do like you have up to this level to spend and then get bids?
If you want to do that now.
And can we do that tonight? I just didn't know if we could do that or not. Okay, so I'll just add that down in new business or do you want it now?
Whenever.
Okay, we'll just add it down to new business and,
About 10:30 tonight.
no, we're gonna be out of here before then.
Yes.
Okay, planning and development.
Couple
Mike?
things. Of course, the gentlemen, they're trying to add on to the Legion, just to explain what that was about, was they are wanting to get started on construction. I've already talked to Buechner with it, and he said, yeah, let them do it, they're fine. I've got the paperwork, it will be approved at the next planning commission board. Along with that, I want to thank the Indiana State Police. They did come to town and they tagged 2 vehicles. One of them was a problem vehicle that has been sitting outside, black tires, hasn't been moved in a year. So Mr. Ward, thank you very much for taking care of that and moving that off the street like requested. The other vehicle was a silver Jeep Grand Cherokee West on 18. It's been sitting there for some time, and it was struck the other night, doing some damage. It's not parked in a good place. The semis have to go over in the other lane to avoid hitting this vehicle. So with that being said, just because your car is plated, insured, and ready to go, if it's placed in a safety issue position, you might want to check on why it was tagged before you start complaining to the Indiana State Police. A simple move it to the east 30 feet would keep them semi-trailers from striking your vehicle. So going on record, if it gets hit again and you decide you don't want to move it, I would venture to say that's your fault. You put it in safety, you know it's there, you was tagged. It's easy. Move it 30 feet to the east and it would have been taken care of. Other than that, and Sam, that's why I was trying to call you the other one too.
Yeah, I tried to reach back, but.
Right, so I just, it wasn't that big of a deal to let you know. And the state police asked if our guys would tag that too, because it is a county issue and they didn't want to get involved in it because it's a county issue. So that's why I was trying to contact you the other day. So it's still sitting there in the same spot, not moved, stickers removed. It has Howard County plates on it. I have no idea who owns it. I couldn't tell you who owns it, but maybe one of the guys, if they ever, I want to look into that. So
You want to know who owns it?
I know who owns it.
Yeah, it's my vehicle. I don't know if I can wait till public comment or not. I'd like to address the board on this issue.
I think I said it all.
Well, I hear what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. However, to the best of my knowledge, the area in front of that home is designated and it's legal parking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I don't understand why a properly plated, insured vehicle with no flat tires, I mean, it was only there for a slight bit. I had to move it because we have a camper in the back.
Correct.
And so I'm like, how did this, we just returned a lost dog the other day. I can't remember the exact timing of it, but it was this day here. And I noticed that the mirror, the little plastic was on it. So I pushed the plastic back up, put the mirror. Yeah, that's a bummer. You realize it's a risk if you're parked the vehicle. I don't really park it out there because of the risk. I don't want my car damaged.
If you would just move it 30 feet to the east.
And I'd love to move it 30 feet to the east, but my concern was, isn't that the neighbor in front of me's spot? And I'd be kind of upset if.
They don't own the street. It's a public street.
Well,
You can park there,
but it was kind of,
when those semis come around that curve, the trailers can't clear that, and that, I don't know if that's what happened. I can only assume what's happened, because when those semis come around that curve, they can't, it's hard for them to clear that Jeep, and they have to move over to the other lane. Oh, I witnessed it. So
I understand.
That's why it was tagged, and if there should have been an issue, I don't know, I mean, that's the only issue. It's plated, the tires are up, it's been.
There's nothing illegal and nothing that should have been caused to the vehicle to be tagged. I mean, that's the end point. that didn't meet any of the compliance issues to require an abandoned vehicle. And that part I take objection with. If they're not supposed to park there because of safety, well, then let's make that a rule. Like, it should be no parking there. But if it's illegal and allowed to park there,
It's called.
it's legal and allowed to park there.
Okay, we need to proceed, and if you and Jeremy want to.
Yeah, I'm trying not to make a big deal, but I understand, but it is kind of frustrating, a legal vehicle parked in a legal spot, no issue, gets tagged at 1:30 PM, and then the cops there at like 5:30 PM, like, what, isn't there like 48 hours before you're allowed to tow the vehicle? What's even going on here?
Okay, it's
And
72 hours.
That's even better, I mean.
Right, it gives you time to correct the action as well.
Yeah, and the action
It was a safety issue, so I don't know, I can't go knock on doors and.
Yeah, and that's the other part, I don't want to drag it out, but that was the other part, that several attempts were made to get, there was no attempts. No mail, no knocking on doors, no notices, there were no attempts to notify us. I mean, it's right in front of the house. I mean, if there was a real attempt, how about you knock on a door, put a little sign, hey.
Well, it's got 34 plates, that's Howard County. Okay?
Yeah.
Right, correct? Okay, we got 09 plates for Cass
Okay,
County.
we need to move on, and then, like I said, you guys can discuss further if you want to, or in the public session as well. Public safety, one of them had thought they were going to be here. One of them's on vacation, the other two must not have been able to make it. I do know that they plan to meet Thursday. They will have an executive session at 6 and a public meeting at 6:30.
While we're on that subject, I'm gonna speak up about that too. We don't need one. I was led to believe that we needed a safety board. We don't need a safety board. We operate underneath a marshal system, not a full-time police department. The man sitting left to me is the human resource guy. Sam is the liaison. If there's a discipline issue, we go into an executive meeting, and these gentlemen take care of that.
If I could interject, it was voted on to establish it. Okay?
Correct.
So it is in place, and that would be an action item on another meeting.
Right, well,
So
then,
I'm adding that to another meeting.
Okay.
I'd like to see it on the agenda to disband that safety board.
and Brad, do you have, I know we did that based on your recommendation.
I mean, I've sent out a lot of emails, so I'm happy to send out some more if you have an opinion on that, but that'd be a thing that we do need it, so. It's the council decision.
Okay.
I mean, anything you guys want to do, you can vote on and you can vote, so.
Okay. There's nothing from BZA, ADA, not the aviation, there's nothing. New business. Brad brought a resolution tonight. I think this would probably be resolution 1, wouldn't it, Barry? Have we done a resolution yet this year?
Yeah, we've had a couple.
Okay, so we'll have you add the number to whatever that is. And so I need to read this, right?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
pretty short, so.
A resolution designating temporary purchasing and claims approval authority for the Galveston Police Department during the administrative leave of the town marshal. Whereas the town of Galveston has established a board of public safety pursuant to Indiana law to oversee the operation of the Galveston Police Department, and whereas the town marshal is presently on administrative leave, and whereas the Board of Public Safety has designated Joseph Flory to fulfill marshal duties for operational purposes during the town marshal's absence, and whereas the council finds that it is in the best interest of the town to ensure the continued operation of the Galveston Police Department and to provide clear direction regarding the submission and approval of police department expenditures during the town marshal's administrative leave. Now therefore be it resolved by the town council of the town of Galveston, Indiana as follows. During the administrative leave of the town marshal, the Galveston Board of Public Safety is hereby designated as the approving authority for purchase orders, claims, invoices, and requests for payment relating to the operation of the Galveston Police Department. Any purchase request approved by the Board of Public Safety shall be submitted to the clerk treasurer through the town's normal claims and payment procedures. All expenditures shall remain subject to available appropriations, the spending limitations and approval requirements established by Ordinance 2023-08, all applicable purchasing requirements of the town of Galveston and applicable Indiana law. Nothing in this resolution shall be construed to alter or eliminate any spending limitation, approval requirement, or financial control established by Ordinance 2023-08. Any expenditure requiring additional approval under Ordinance 2023-08 shall continue to require such approval. The clerk treasurer may rely upon written approval from the Board of Public Safety as evidence that a purchase or expenditure has been authorized by the police department during the period of administrative leave. This resolution is intended as a temporary administrative measure and shall remain in effect until the town marshal returns to active service, the town council designates a different approving authority, or this resolution is repealed or amended by the town council. So then we would need a motion.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a spending authority for the PSD?
Well, I think they would adopt the 2308 Marshall Authority, which is what, 1500, I think?
Yeah.
And so the language in there basically doesn't give them any more authority than the marshal did when he was acting. I was trying to make it clear cut to where someone can do something for the PD. Yeah.
I don't want a helicopter, but, you know.
Right. Yeah, no, it says, let me just
Yeah,
check on that.
It said the same limitations.
Yeah, spending limitations and approval requirements established by 2308. So it's under the same umbrella, nothing more.
Thanks, Brad.
Technically, do we really need this since Joe Flory has been designated for full-time marshal duties? So he should be able to make purchases. I understand that the board, that's one of their duties, but we shouldn't even have to approve anything.
Well, on the current ordinance, it is the marshal only, which is the designated authority.
So an acting marshal wouldn't consist of.
I'm not sure that they've used the word acting marshal. I'm not sure what they designated Joe for. I know they've given him the duties of the marshal, but I don't know what they titled him.
Okay.
So that's why it's indicated he has the active duties. I don't know if he's interim. I don't know if he's active. So I'm reading it.
They should probably make that clear in the next meeting then what he is.
And they may have, and we've just missed it. Brad asked me as he was writing this resolution, and I said the term interim was used in the very first meeting, and then that was questioned because we said with having a marshal, we didn't think we really had an interim because Nick technically is marshal still. He's just on leave. And so then they used the word acting, and I think that was the term they ended up going with. But that was the reason he said fulfilling the marshal's duties.
They used that with the prior individual that resigned.
So,
Acting marshal.
yeah, that was the term they used with him, so. Okay, so we would need a motion to, what do we do to a resolution? Adopt it? Adopt a resolution. We don't know a number.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2026- whatever else.
To be determined.
That has to do with the Galveston Spending Authority, and that'll cover it, I think.
That has to do with the Galveston Police Department spending authority.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
I just think Lori should be on it too, though, as purchasing authority.
Well, can you give me a second and then we can discuss it?
I'll second the motion.
Thanks. Now, let's discuss this, Todd.
I think Lori should be on it too in case one of the members, like he needs vests and hasn't been able to get them. I mean, if he's gonna run it while Nick's gone, he needs to have that authority too, I think. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, and I have to be honest, that as I read the third whereas, I thought it was going to have Flory having that authority.
What about Sam? I mean, Sam's the boss of it. Why can't they go to Sam?
Well, as liaison, we have never signed off. It's always been within the department.
Department and council, liaison has no special authority. He's liaison.
I got a lot of questions.
I just think if Flory can't get hold of the board quick
He has
enough,
to have a special meeting.
certain things
Executive
need ordered, they need order now, not waiting to get like bulletproof vests or something you
Yeah.
need. You can't, not something you can really wait around on. If he needs them, then he needs to have the authority to order them if he's gonna be acting marshal.
They get equipment arms.
But nobody has any authority right now to spend any of that money. That's what we are trying to do, is give somebody the authority to sign off for them to do that.
Well, Cindy, I'm not in agreement with the Board of Public Safety. I'm not in agreement with that at all. We're the only small town, it seems like, in the state of Indiana that has it.
Okay, but that's a different issue. So for tonight, we simply need to take care of our police department being able to spend the money that they need to be able to spend. You know, we'll add that to the next meeting, and we can take care of that then. Brad, is there a line, is there a place in there like as a number?
I have it right here in Word version, so we can make any changes necessary.
I kind of agree with Todd that it needs to give Joe spending authority as the acting marshal, or
I think the board should have authority too, if they're gonna be a board.
No, they don't have that.
Well, if they're.
They don't have the authority to make out daily planning of the police department. They're a disciplinary action board.
They can purchase equipment for them, Brad says. I mean, I don't know if your best could.
okay. So honestly, I think if we add Joe to this, I can truly say that I don't think that board is going to want spending authority. They want a way to be able to take care of what is needed. Their number one concern was, we have 2 safety vests that are out of date, and they couldn't order them. I mean, they got the purchase order ready. Actually, you said you only have 1 of them, right? Well, because that's coming up, but
I put that in your
Yeah.
package, if you recall.
yeah. But, so that really is, I think if Joe has spending authority, they will not utilize it. So is there a sentence in there that you think you can add for Joe to have spending authority? Can I leave that to Brad and come back to
We can,
that?
it was there in the very first now, therefore be it resolved, so paragraph number 1.
Okay,
Instead of including the safety board, we could supplicate in Joe Flory there, I believe.
okay.
How about just add acting
Acting
marshal?
marshal, yeah.
Because if Joe ends up quitting, then we're back to square one and coming back to this again.
Yeah, no issue with that either.
So are we just saying by the acting marshal, or is it by the acting marshal and the Board of Public Safety?
I'd take Board of Public Safety out of it, my opinion.
Well, what Brad sent us, that is one of their duties that they can do is purchase equipment.
It's in the
Yeah.
ordinance. we
Right,
adopted.
it's in there, so we have to have it.
Okay.
They have.
So acting marshal and the Board of Public Safety. So with that modification, all right, I don't think I've ever had one like this. So what do I need to do here? We have the motion and the second, but now we have modifications. Do we vote on it with the modifications?
Yeah, so you can make a motion to amend the resolution, paragraph 1. Is it just 1? Yeah.
Okay,
To make a motion to amend paragraph 1 to include the acting town marshal.
okay. there one of you want to do that?
I make a motion to amend the resolution on paragraph 1 to add acting marshal as a designated authority to purchase orders, claims, and invoices.
I second that
Police
motion.
Department need.
So Todd, I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Passed by majority.
Okay. I just have to remember to come back and do that one. And what, while we're on that, just so I know whether we need to approve this now or not, what's their spending limit on police department? 1,500, you said?
15, and then he can buy a little bit more with two council people.
Okay,
Get approval, and anything over that amount would require all the council.
okay.
I don't remember.
No, that, and that's okay. So
Because he might get the best as well.
he does, they're 1,800, so we can just go ahead and approve it tonight, and, because I know it's times 2.
Right.
I've already asked that question, I know it's times 2. I don't know why Barry only got one order, and maybe he didn't have what he needed to be able to place the second one or something, but I know that I confirmed there are 2. Okay, we have a CCMG Gaunt and Son asphalt bill for $248,000. This is just pay app 1 of $248,618.10. We need a motion to pay that.
Make a motion to pay Galveston Sun Asphalt Corporation $248,618.10.
Second the motion.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. By the way, I heard from them today, if the weather holds out, they plan on doing the final layer on Baffin tomorrow. The police salary and an effective date, if approved. I was hoping that the group was going to be here. I'm not even sure. I know they made a motion. Do you know any of that specific? I know.
I did.
Okay.
It's for Joe to inherit Randy's rate, basically, 28 an
What
hour.
was the effective date? That's what you want, I think.
No, I put that effective date. I don't know. That's up to you all.
That's why
Okay.
she didn't know she.
But do we know when did he take over?
He hasn't really. I've discussed with him that if it's approved today, assuming that, then the next payroll
Okay,
will,
it would just start
because
effective
I
now.
wasn't gonna hold up his pay,
Right.
pending this stuff.
I just didn't know if there had been discussion about retro or anything there, so. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, Joe has stepped in and is trying to take care of some things in the office to get it moving forward and back to a workable order, just with the confusion that we've had. So that is a discussion I know he had with the Board of Public Safety. So it would just take our approval to be able to do it, and then Barry working his magic.
Do we want to say the amount or just up to?
It is $28 an hour.
I don't know, you wanted to state
Yeah,
that.
no, that's fine.
I make a motion that we increase Officer Joe Flores' wage to $28 per hour, as long as he is acting marshal.
I second that motion.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion?
Give it to him, you can't take it back.
I said as long as he's acting marshal. So when we get a marshal, we include it.
So I'm not sure what you're saying, because if the motion is that while he's in this role, wouldn't that roll his pay back to his current pay if he's not in that role?
Not necessarily.
Not with this motion?
I guess I'm not sure you're trying to make sure that when he no longer is fulfilling these duties, he goes back to his regular rate of pay.
Right.
I didn't hear the motion was, but Barry shaking his head.
I say that he'd be increased to $20 per hour as long as he's acting marshal.
Why don't we just go ahead and add the additional language that when he's no longer acting marshal, he'll be at his
I make a
former
motion.
pay we reinstated.
I make a motion that Joe Flory is increased to a wage of $20 per hour as long as he's acting marshal, and at the time that he is not acting marshal, he will go back to his original pay.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
So
All in
when we
favor?
hire a marshal and Joe goes back to his other pay, we're gonna lose Joe too.
My thought as well.
Well, I think that's something that you deal with at that particular time, because there's nothing to say that a new marshal coming in is not gonna say he's second in command, and that's what we were paying second in command. So, okay, so we have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so motion's approved. The Axon update. Last week, there were some emails that were ciphered through Barry. I did not know that we had Joe as acting, talking to the safety board. At that time, we asked the Axon people to just hold off temporarily. Last night, I had a chance to talk to Joe, who said, you can't do that. To me, that is a very definite missing piece of what we need for protection of everybody involved. And so I emailed today, apparently they were already being shipped. Anyway, I mean, he had had that conversation with them. And so emailed them today and just said, you are now working with Joe here on moving forward. So if you happen to get any of those from Randy that are coming in to Randy's email, just forward them to Joe so that he knows who to do with anything on there.
Have those been purchased yet?
They have, and apparently they are on their way, according to what Joe told me last night. That was the one thing that we weren't sure about, but they have been purchased and the flock cameras have been purchased. There also were some weird flock camera emails too, but Sonny and I went to a meeting, county planning update. Sonny and I went to a meeting this past week along with Brad and met with Aaron and one of the commissioners and the county attorney. It looks like right now there will be some work between the attorneys and Aaron trying to get things in place to match this new state law that kind of delayed a few things. And then that should be coming back to us in October or November for official approval. That was just an update. It wasn't something that really needed any kind of action on our part. CCMG 2025-1 is their first pay app for this one's this project.
That's not their
This-
first payout.
This one's not the first one for this
No,
project?
This is for the project
This,
2025-1.
right, this is the first one for this project though, right? No? Okay, it's not.
Number 6 or 7.
Don't listen to me. I think with the one, I was thinking that's how they were numbering it. They just have a different numbering system than the other, so,
Their numbers.
okay. Yeah, because they would have done their engineering design.
I make a motion, we pay the DLC invoice for CCMG in the amount of $3,672.50.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment? All in favor? Aye. Okay, the safety vest. There is one proposal. There are supposed to be 2 that are expired and out of date. The total on this one, this actually has a tax amount on it, so you'll have to have him deal with that.
I gave that to you as soon as.
Yeah, well, and I didn't notice that from, because there had been one emailed to me the other day too. But that's still above the limit, and we want to be able, them to be able to do that times 2. So that way it'd give him the authority to order both of them.
While you're thinking about that, on the Axon update, there's no action today, correct?
Right, it was just my saying, I took it off of the we're waiting. I don't want to say, it was just something you can do like up to $4,000 or something. Because is there a chance that one of them would be higher than the other? I don't know anything about safety vests. Is there a chance that the next one?
Just cap it at 4,000, maybe more, I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be what, 3,800?
Well, it'll be 35,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
tax.
because the tax is on there, but.
I make a motion that we let Joe Flory increase his spending limit up to $4,000 to purchase the 2 bulletproof vests that the department needs.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. I think that was one of the
Is this a
scariest.
picture of the vest that you're buying?
I know he said that it was different. Andy had told me, when Andy had told me that 2 of them were expired, that Joe was talking to a company that was different than what we had used before, because these are not fitted specifically. So I'm guessing, but if that's something, you know, we're not technically approving just this one if we do the motion that way. So Mike, if that's something you want to talk to Joe about.
Well, I'll talk to Sam. I'll talk to
Okay.
Sam about it. Me and Sam can come to a conclusion. My only problem, and there's a lot of it, is they walk around with 100-round magazines around them, like they're going to kick in a door. They don't need that. It's intimidating, and for young people to get pulled over, it's intimidating enough. And when a guy walks up and he decides he looks like he's going into downtown Baghdad, it's intimidating, and I don't like that image. And that's just my personal opinion. I know I'm pretty vulnerable tonight and upset, and I am. We don't need this. There's professional-looking vests out there, bulletproof vests, with a good professional uniform that they can be wearing. And I've said this for months in other meetings and in meetings with other policemen and with the safety board. We don't look professional. And when the state police pull up and county pull up, they're all nice pressed and dressed, and we look like we're still in downtown Baghdad back in Iraq. And it's not an image I like.
Okay, well, let's, again, there are discussions there that can be done with the specific people that need to be. Sam, Joe, I don't know who that needs to be, but let's go ahead and go with the, Todd and Sam have made the motion and seconded it to allow up to $4,000 for expenditure on vests. And then the particular vest can be determined later by whoever's doing the ordering. So, any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, then, I think we probably, you're saying the furnaces can probably limp along. We obviously don't need them right now.
I just don't want to wait until it's cold,
Right.
like what happened with the AC.
But do we have any idea on air conditioners, what they're going to cost us?
I have no idea.
John, do you have any idea?
No, I would just get quotes.
But I want to give tonight, just so they can go ahead and move forward with it quickly, I want us to give them a spending authority.
I would probably do furnaces and air conditioners at the same time. I just, but you do what you want to do because, it's your money and.
So what limit would you give them in that discussion? That would give them some leeway to be able to have that discussion with contractors.
The furnaces and air conditioners should be able to be purchased under 30,000. I would hope to get them purchased under less than that, but that's just.
And you're thinking that's both?
I would do 2 furnaces and two central air units.
Okay.
Because, we've lived through the winter with the one furnace last year.
Well, and I know Marcia came to us probably October and was afraid, she talked to us about the roof and the furnaces at the time, and they were able to repair it on the furnaces. So.
You're getting into the warm months here, and, it's not fair, like Todd was saying earlier, to the people that's.
No, that's the reason I don't want us to have another meeting.
Trying to have a meeting here, and everybody's hot around the collar,
So, okay, so we need a motion.
Why don't business owners take
Okay. We need a motion to allow the purchase of air conditioning and/or furnaces, depending on the contractor recommendations, and giving them some kind of spending limit so that can be done, because it really does need to be done ASAP. And that may even end up being part of their contract discussion of how quickly can you get it done, because otherwise you're going to lose rental.
Step one would be to get quotes.
Right.
Okay. So there's no approval here at this point.
Well, we want to approve them to be able to purchase it upon the quotes without
As
having.
opposed to council,
What?
as opposed to council
Right.
approving $50,000.
We want to approve up to this amount that they can purchase with our.
Why not pay a deposit and we can come up with the rest when it's done?
Well, but we still, before they can authorize it to be done.
Right.
We need to give them, Barry's not going to pay the full amount anyway.
Yeah.
Until it's done. But we just need, unless we're going to do a quick emergency meeting once they have quotes.
Right.
That's what I'd ask. Can we give them a spending authority up to a certain amount of money? Is that a possibility? Can we give them a spending authority up to the $30,000, but they have to get the 3 quotes or whatever is determined by?
We have to have the bids. I don't see why it's necessary to give cap spending authority if we're going to have to vote on a bid anyways. I
Okay.
think it's pretty firm for us. I would just wait.
Okay, so we have to have the bids to vote on. That's what we're
I
asking.
would much prefer that to be the case.
Okay, so,
Okay, Cindy, I've got an issue with one of the wells. So I don't know what it's going to cost to get that done. So why don't we work on getting quotes out here and just set up a special meeting to
because
where you could approve
the question becomes who has their stuff first, because if they have their quotes tomorrow, we need to have a special meeting this week.
And I will have a quote on the well tomorrow.
Okay. All right, we can do that. I'll get with everybody and just set up a special meeting. Have Barry send out something in terms of what a special meeting date can be coming up. All right. Handbook, I have to plead guilty. As you know, I've been spending many, many days, Barry, I apologize. I sent you an email apologizing. I promise you it will be my priority in the next week, and I'll get it to you to proofread. I do not have it ready with the Department of Labor adjustments. I turned my keys in today, so my life is now focused on this.
I think you have the exact language of that.
Yeah, you do. You sent it. Yeah, you sent it to me. I just need to add it in.
Anything that need to be added, I think
Yep.
it's great to be dropped in there.
I just
The
need.
verbiage I gave you is what I worked out.
Right, and he sent it to me, so it's ready for me to put into the document. I just asked him not to do it because my document is in Pages, and his would have been in Word, and they don't communicate
So we're going to
perfectly.
table it for tonight.
Yep, I promise you I will have it next month.
Well, the employees haven't been paid, right? I saw them.
They've been taken care of.
Yeah.
And the Department of Labor was clear of the town. Somebody did a nice job. I don't know who that might be.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, they are waiting on this.
I will, in fact, if the language is already there, I'll get it to you probably by the end of this week.
Well, if y'all aren't doing a special meeting.
Right, we'll just add it to it, yep.
To that agenda.
Yep. Because like I said, it can truly be my priority. It's just been a crazy, okay.
You want to do a motion to table?
Yep, we do need a motion table, sorry guys.
I make a motion to table the handbook with the Department of Labor adjustments.
I'll second.
How was that you?
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Again, I apologize.
I'm gonna bump that email up to, that we get to the top of your file.
I have it unopened. It's there, it's a priority, but I just marked it as unread. So, all right, ordinance 202604, restricting the commercial motorized vehicle. This is the second reading, so we don't need to read it again.
Did we vote on the table? Did we vote on the table?
Oh, no, we didn't, sorry. All in favor of tabling the handbook? Aye. Sorry. Thank you. That's why I love you guys to keep me in line. The only thing is, John, one of the things on the restricted truck route, we do not have specific street names. And we had said, but we technically have said all along that it is all town streets, right?
Yes.
So can we just say all Galveston town streets on that, Brad?
I think we can, I don't have it in front of me, but I think, didn't we have it written that way in the beginning?
We did.
Yeah.
There it is.
I think we can, it's been a while, but I think we reviewed it, what we changed.
I think the big thing just took in local people,
Yeah, it was a
agricultural and locals, yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right. So then adding the part, and we'll have Brad add that since he did the ordinance, of all Galveston town streets, we need the motion to approve, or the ordinance 202604.
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-04, restricting commercial motorized vehicles.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Okay, golf cart ordinance. We didn't get that sent to Barry until Friday. I think it was Friday. So officially, we're not ready. All it does on the old one, from the old one, it designates different accounts, which are the correct accounts that Barry told us that it needs to go into, one account, because it specified account names that, and I don't think one of them even existed or something. As I read it, it was like, this is weird. And adds in that it is a one-time fee. And by the way, that was in that ordinance at one time, because I found a copy that said that. A one-time fee of $25, and then every renewal is the $15
For inspection.
for the inspection. And so we can, it's not even on here to do, because I don't have the official copy of it in front of me. We'll add it to next month. But I would like to propose that we allow, knowing that that really was just clarifying and everything else is definite, that we allow the police department to go ahead and set up the inspection. know, since they know what those are, there's nothing in this ordinance that really isn't in the other than clarification.
Well, you have 2.5 policemen on staff right now.
And I'm just saying,
And
if,
none of them have done any of this inspection stuff, so there's gotta be some type of education.
right, and I'm not saying they have to do it. I'm saying we give them the okay to go ahead and do it, if they choose to. Because I know you're getting a lot of calls. Or we can just, I don't know what the best answer is. Thoughts?
My suggestion is to get an ordinance in place the way it should be. I'll work with Joe.
Okay,
And educate him as best I can.
okay. You posted that on Friday, right?
Yes.
So if we do this special meeting, the first reading could also be on there. So we could have it done by the July meeting. In all likelihood. Okay, all right.
So no action today.
Nope, no action. Okay, John, I know you and I talked like a week ago. You had brought the hot box to us.
Yes, and I haven't had any time to follow up on that.
Okay,
The quotes on a new one was, I don't know, 54, 58,000. So that is a state bid that they can, so it doesn't have to go through a bid process, so. He had used units, I've not checked those out. But the new unit was 54,000. If you went with a 3-year warranty, I believe it bumped it up a few thousand, so.
okay.
And just keep in mind, while we're approving all this other stuff that, that you're gonna need a salt spreader or parts for the existing one or a new replacement. I don't have prices for that either. But in the near future, you're gonna have to look at parts for that to repair it. Or replace that as well, so.
Okay.
The skid steer is in the shop getting repaired. I don't have a cost on that. We sent it last week over to Lafayette. It'd be nice to replace that.
So if I could interject, not related specific to that, but an email from my office is forthcoming for capital asset purchases. In other words, things over $5,000. We've got a few here. This is to budget the next year, 2027.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else? Because I know I added a couple of things. Is there anything that we missed on tonight, guys? Anybody else have anything? Okay, so we're back to audience. Michael.
Hey Cindy, so on the county planning, if Galveston adopts their ordinances and zoning, what's that going to cost the town per month or per year?
It doesn't. Everything is paid through the permits. Our permitting will change because we will pay what they charge, for permits, but that pays for somebody that can come in and inspect and, do those things. The thing that right now is a missing piece for us that we realized when we did our comprehensive plan, and it talked about liability for towns and different things, and it was like, well, who do we have that does this? And our answer was, we don't. And we don't have the funds to pay somebody to do that. And so we've actually been in this discussion for about 4 years with the understanding their money comes from the permitting fees and such. And Erin currently has 1.5 employees. That was what gave her a little bit of leeway to bring in a town.
So can I ask you, how do you think this is going to benefit the town by having them cast over here instead of like designating maybe a person off the board or to do it instead of having that Logan Sport? We have to do everything through Logan Sport instead of doing it.
We have to have an inspector that is part of the problem, right? Is that-
Yeah, well, I mean, that was what really made us start looking at things. See,
Right.
We'll have a county.
Right, I knew the answer to that, I just
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
you to explain.
yeah, no, in my opinion, and that's my opinion, but that was the recommendation. The engineer is no longer with the company that worked with us as we were doing the comp plan. But that was one of the first things she said to us, is you guys really do need to look at this. One, I think we'll also see some consistency in how things are done. Permits will be done online instead of people having to try to track down and do different things. They're more than willing to talk people through for somebody that's not technologically savvy. We've watched them do that when we've been over in the office some. So I just think some consistency in terms of what's done and the interpretation of some of the laws. I know a few times, I've looked at our guys and they've said, I'm not real sure. We also, for the people that are fearful of this being all county decision, we will have some say in any parts that are added in those ordinances. We can say, this does not apply to Galveston.
Right.
So that will
I
be
remember
something that we
being
can do.
said previously.
Yeah, it's not that everything that the county is currently doing necessarily always has to apply. I will tell you that as we looked at it with Aaron, almost everything that we already had, they had something there. But if something were to come up, let's say somewhere in the county they say it's going to be okay, the commissioners have said no, so I can use this as an example. It's going to be okay to put a data center. Galveston could say, ooh, that part doesn't apply to us.
And assuming that goes forward, is the town council approved for that representation to be on that planning board?
There will be representation. That was part of the discussion this week because it's a funny little part of the law. It says something about towns of 2,100 and more. It doesn't specify less. And so the attorneys, that's where the attorneys and Aaron are going to put their brains together and figure out what that legalese really means and says.
And we're going to have a rep. And then also what's good for us is because of our size, let's say Rural Center decides they want to join at some point. They're smaller than us, so because of our size, we still maintain our rep over them. So it's going to work out pretty well, I think, for us.
So with the regular planning board, will it be dissolved? Is that the word you use? I mean,
That is my understanding.
okay.
Because the role that they're now doing will be taken over by the county.
Okay. That's all.
Okay, anybody else? Jeff?
On this golf cart ordinance, you guys are wanting to inspect the golf carts, but what about all these other vehicles running through town?
Farmlands
Not
that
so
have
much,
no place.
not so much farm ones, they're just other vehicles running through town, side to sides, whatever else you want to call them. They pass that.
Well, the side-by-sides, if I recall, when we did that ordinance, they have to be licensed by the state. And so the police would have the authority, if there's no licensing on them, to stop them. That was not something that we did locally because their licensing was done by the state, if I recall. Anybody remember? Besides me?
That's true.
I'm pretty sure that all of that licensing was at the state. And so if they did not have that as their proof,
Just a sticker.
I'm not sure what it is.
Different counties through Indiana, some side by side you're allowed to go on the county roads. Some of them you're not. It's just there's a county that you're not allowed to drive those, even though
So.
some are.
But ours specifically did golf carts on this one because it just gave that. I think the other vehicles all had to have state option. So. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor? Yeah. So now I'm not sure.
We're almost
Am I just hitting there?